Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and today I have another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a show where you guys submit your gaming or Battlefield 3 related questions, and then I give my humble opinion on them. If you would like to submit your own question, you can do so by sending me a YouTube message with the title line Q&A, and I could talk about it in an upcoming episode. So the first question for today is, now that the Close Quarter DLC is out, what do you find yourself becoming more frustrated by? C4 on the Conquest Domination objectives or Claymores? I find C4 is being used much more and can be quite cheap, since they can either sit in a corner or take another objective and just watch the indicator when a flag is being taken. Yeah, I agree with you. Planting C4 on the objective is definitely more frustrating than the Claymores. Going into the DLC, I thought Claymores was going to be a large issue because, you know, they're close quarter maps, and I just figured everyone was just going to place those down and you were going to run into them all day. But because there are a lot of routes and avenues, and since people just die constantly, those Claymores really don't last that long, and I find that they're not that large of an issue. But I also don't see the C4 being that large of an issue as well, but I'm playing on PC, and this tactic doesn't seem to be as rampant as it is on the Xbox, and I think the PS3 as well. Apparently it is really bad on the consoles, because it's just a very effective tactic, and I'm assuming once this becomes more rampant on the PC, I'm going to get even more frustrated by it. But really, I don't think that this is on the support. I don't think this is the fault of the support players. They're just using the tools at their disposal. I really think this one is on DICE. I mean, they made the burn radius or the capture point on these Conquest Domination objectives to be very, very small, and if they just increase the area a little bit so that if you are on the fringe of the objectives, you're less likely to get blown up by players who are just lobbing C4 on the objective, and so you can actually capture it and avoid getting these frustrating deaths. I think it would make, especially on the Xbox and the PS3, people would get a lot less frustrated by this tactic, and you could get around it. So I really think that if DICE just increased the capable area for these Conquest Domination points, the tactic would maybe not fizzle out. I think people would still use it, but since right now people are getting constantly reinforced because they're getting kills after kills after kills with using this tactic, they're going to keep using it because they're getting more kills for it. But if they made the capable area larger, they wouldn't be as successful, and maybe they would think that maybe my time is better served not placing down C4 and going for other objectives or defending it normally and not just trying to use this cheap trick. I want to know what you guys think about the C4 tactic. Do you guys think it's valid? Do you think it's an exploit? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm very interested to see what you guys think. The next question is, I have noticed a lot lately that more and more players are equipping the suppressor. We have all gotten used to watching the minimap every few seconds, and obviously they don't show up when suppressed. To be honest, this is getting pretty annoying. What are your thoughts on the suppressor? Really, to be honest, I cannot get behind your critiques of this attachment. The suppressor, as it is right now, since it got nerfed a couple of months ago in that large balance patch, it has been probably one of the least used attachments that I have noticed. Maybe it's become more useful in the Close Quarter DLC because everything is, of course, up close, and that's where the suppressor is much more effective. But if you're playing on the normal maps, the suppressor just does not feel like a very useful attachment. Before, a couple months ago, it by far was one of the most used attachments in the game. It kept you off of the minimap. It reduced your recoil, and I don't really think it had any negative aspects to it. It was overall just a fantastic attachment, and that coupled with the foregrip, you were just basically a killing machine with the M16A3. So I'm glad they nerfed it. I think that they went a little bit too far, to the point where the suppressor is no longer as useful as some of the other attachments. I believe that in the upcoming patch, or Demise said that they are thinking about buffing it a little bit to make it a little bit more effective at medium range engagements, which I think is a good thing right now because most players are just using the heavy barrel and not opting to even use the suppressor. But getting back to your argument, I can't really see why you are getting annoyed by this. I mean, that's the main reason why you use the suppressor. You want to stay off the minimap, and if a player is using that to their advantage, then good for them, because in my opinion, they are kind of at a handicap because that attachment just does not seem as good as the other one. So if they are using it to their advantage, good for them. I let them do what they're doing because that's exactly what the suppressor, in my opinion, is used for. The final question for today is, do you think it would be a good idea for DICE to add more factions in the upcoming DLCs? For example, you'd be able to play as the Germans, British, etc. I think it would be a simple but fresh addition to the game. I would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, I think this would be pretty cool, but in reality, I think that DICE should spend more of their resources and time on trying to fix and balance the game. You know, there still are a lot of issues that need to be addressed, and while having new factions would freshen the game up a little bit with new voice acting and maybe some new character models and even new vehicle models, it wouldn't really change the game all that much and would just be more of an aesthetic thing. So I would rather have them balance the game and fix the issues that are addressed and spend their time on that. And while, like I said, it is cool, and if they had unlimited resources and a lot of people working on this game, then cool, that would be awesome. But I just don't think that is needed right now for Battlefield 3. That's just my opinion. But that's it for today's Sunday Mailbox, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Now you know what I think about these issues. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a rating. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos. But until next time, guys, have a good one and take it easy.